final round of the regional consultation on the non-custodial sentencing policy has taken place in Sunyani in Brong Ahafo. The idea of non-custodial sentencing regime in Ghana is being spearheaded by the Judicial Service, the Ministry of the Interior, the POS Foundation and the Canadian International Development Agency, CIDA.
Non-custodial sentencing is a punishment given by a court of law that does not involve a prison term. It may take the form of a fine, probation order, or community service. However, the type of sentencing is traditionally given to adult offenders. For over a decade now, Ghana has been considering alternatives to imprisonment. The underlying objective is to decongest the country's prisons. The POS Foundation joined forces with the Judicial Service, the Ministry of the Interior, CIDA and other organizations to stimulate public enthusiasm in the formulation of a solid and reliable non-custodial sentencing regime for Ghana. Earlier efforts have resulted in the Community Service Bill, which is currently being discussed. The Brong Ahafo region is the last to host the public consultation on the non-custodial sentencing policy. Setting the tone for the deliberations, the CEO of the POS Foundation, Mr. Jonathan Osei, mentioned that the Community Service Bill must be taken seriously since Ghana has been indicted by the UN for the terrible conditions in its prisons.
If we look at the situation where there is congestion everywhere, and must add that the UN Special Rapporteur on Torture, Cruel and Inhumane Treatment came to Ghana and visited our prisons, and the report can be even gotten on the internet. They heavily indicted Ghana. When you look at other African countries, Ghana stands tall amongst more of the African countries in terms of our democracy, rule of law. But the fact is, if we continue to compare our height to our height in terms of our length to that of a dwarf, we are not comparing ourselves to anything good.
The Director of Operations at the Sunyani Central Prisons, DSP Stephen Inti, said overcrowding presents serious challenges to the prison service.
Another problem that exists in the Sunyani Central Prison is lack of adequate workshops to cater for the rehabilitation of inmates due to lack of space and increase in population leading to decrease in rehabilitation. The station is deeply challenged and constrained by resources, space and equipment.
This was the final lap of the regional discussions on the policy.
Two delegations from the ECOWAS Court of Justice and the Assemblies of God Church have called on the Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, and the legislative leadership. The ECOWAS Court of Justice briefed them about its Ghana sensitization program.
Delegation from the ECOWAS Court of Justice are in the country to sensitize the public and stakeholders on activities of the court and what it seeks to achieve. The president of the court is Justice Edward Amwaku Asante.
Our protocols permit or enjoins the countries to appoint focal persons who are in charge of enforcement of the decisions of the ECOWAS Court. Ghana has not done it. Out of the 15 countries, only 5 have done it. The president is concerned. He's put measures in place. I'm sure by next week, he's going to appoint someone, basically from the Attorney General's Department, to do that. But then after that, there should be localization of ratification of the ECOWAS protocols that talk about that, and basically also the amendments to the procedural rules on execution in this country said that decisions taken by the ECOWAS court, your own court, will be enforced.
We definitely recall your mandate in terms of dispute resolution as well as adjudication. And I believe that with time, the adjudicationary function will be strengthened. I know, definitely, you're going to face difficulties of sovereignty. When it suits countries, they plead sovereignty. When they are in trouble, then they say, let ECOMO come and help us solve our problems. But if we're all under the code, and we're all to behave and be regulated by law, that instrument which God gave us from the very word go, then of course, our difficulties will not even arise.
A delegation from the Assemblies of God Ghana also called on the Speaker of Parliament to inform him and the House about the death of their former General Superintendent, Reverend S.P. Asori. A past Assistant General Superintendent of the church, Reverend Dr. Harry Nsiedu, said the late leader, who died on November 14, will be buried in January 2019.
Plan to have the funeral service on the forecourt of the Parliament House.
The speaker described the late Reverend S.P. Asori as a committed leader